Hello.
Good afternoon. Is that Joyce Sims?
It is. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And how are you?
I'm good.
Good, good. It's DJ Gloss from Sound Fusion Radio in London, and I phoned to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
That's good.
Wonderful. So, whereabouts are you in the world at the moment, Joyce? Hope you don't mind me calling you Joyce.
Oh, no problem. Right now I am in New Jersey, in the U.S.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what's the weather like there?
Today, amazingly, the sun is shining, but it's cold outside.
Yeah, it was very similar in London. We had a lot of sunshine, but it was quite tricking because it was actually a lot colder than it looked, if you know what I mean. So,
definitely. Same way here. But at least we're not having a snowstorm today, so I'm not complaining.
Well, that's always a bonus, yeah, without a doubt.
We've had too many this year.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to an artist in New York, and he said that there was sort of 7-8 inches of snow outside in New York, and wow, you know.
Say it again.
The artist I was speaking to in New York said that they had about 7 or 8 inches of snow outside while he was talking to me. It was, quite amazing. The weather's been kind of strange, hasn't it, so far?
It has. I mean, out here, the snow is piled so high, you can barely see the stop sign at the end of my street.
Wow.
So it's crazy.
Oh, dear. You don't mind if I start asking you a few questions, do you, at all?
No, go ahead. Right ahead.
Okay, lovely. I wanted to ask you about the very beginnings of your musical career, because reading around, there's not really a huge amount of information about sort of how you started and where you started and so on. So maybe you could share a little bit of that with us.
Okay. I started in New York City with Sleeping Bag Records. I've always wanted to do music. So my hometown is in Rochester, New York, like Western New York. But I had already started writing, songs and everything. I had a demo, it was a cassette tape at the time, with All in All, Come Into My Life, and Lifetime Love. And so through friends in school, I was in college at the time, we would go back and forth to New York City, and I met this engineer at a studio who knew the people over at Sleeping Bag Records. And he took my demo tape over to, the guys over at Sleeping Bag, and they liked it, and they put me in the studio, and that's how everything started, actually.
Wow.
Mantronic was already signed to Sleeping Bag Records, and once I was signed to the label, I was signed for, at that time, was a singles deal, but I was assigned to work with Mantronic, with Curtis at the time. And that's how we started working on All in All was the first single. That was my very first single.
Yeah, All in All, the 1986 hit, got to number 16 in the UK, an absolute club classic, still is.
Thank you.
Fantastic tune, an absolutely fantastic tune. So just sort of thinking about, as you were growing up, what were your musical influences? What were the bands that you were listening to that influenced you?
Oh, the Jackson 5, definitely. Shaka Khan, Patti LaBelle, Stevie Wonder, especially Stevie Wonder. I really love his music. But I listened to a lot of music, but at that time it was the Jackson 5 because the sound was so different. It was amazing. Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, what is that sound? I just fell in love with it.
That's absolutely right and true for so many people around that kind of era. You know, the Stevie Wonder, the Jackson 5, maybe Marvin Gaye to a certain extent. You know, that's kind of the Motown collection, if you like. Definitely. Without a doubt. So, can you remember the first time you performed All in All in front of an audience? Can you remember where that was?
Oh, yeah, it was a club in New York City called the Danceteria, I think, at that time.
Wow.
Yeah. It was it was an amazing time. Everything was so new to me. I didn't expect the response from All in All. But it was in New York City, is where I started doing all my live performances.
Wow. Well, I mean, it was 86. I was DJing in a club here in London back in 86, and I remember when All in All came out, and just had to get it on the decks. You know, it just had to get it to the club that night and play it.
Wow. Cool.
Just that one, and Come Into My Life. I mean, they were two monster club classics. They still are. I mean, you must be very, very proud. I mean, just... You know, hitting number 7 there with Come Into My Life here in the UK in 1988. You had A Lifetime Love in 1987. I mean, right the way through to 89, just a great run of hits. You must be very proud.
I am. You know, when I think back on it, it's, you know, it's blessed. I feel blessed. That's how I feel. But at the time when everything was happening, you know, I was working so hard and moving. Everything was moving so fast. I really didn't sit back and enjoy it, I should say, or look at it and say, oh, I'm so proud of this or that. Things were moving so fast. It was just go, 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 work, work, work. But, you know, I'm not complaining because I loved it. I loved the stage. I loved the recordings, and, you know, I loved the studio work. So, but it was an amazing time in my life for sure.
Wow. I mean, with that many hits coming out, I'm surprised your feet ever touched the floor, to be honest.
It was pretty amazing.
I bet it was. How wonderful. And you know, those two tunes, particularly All in All and Come Into My Life, I mean, they're still totally timeless. What do you think makes them so timeless from your point of view?
I would think, well, they're love songs, so I think love songs are timeless, and it's universal. And, you know, everyone's felt love, you know, be it good or bad, but in some form or of another, they felt love, even if they didn't understand it totally. So I think people could really connect to that feeling, and the beat was, you know, it was mantronic. I mean, the beat was slamming and everything. But I think the combination of the love song, and you could dance to it, it had, you know, that mass appeal.
Definitely. And I think with the, you know, the Mantronic edge, I mean, that was definitely with, you know, the production was definitely ahead of its time, I feel.
I thought so as well. And, you know, I think also at that time the music was changing over to electronic more so, coming out of the disco or and the electronic sound had started. I know that Lindrum had just came out, and that was like a totally different sound, and Curtis was right on it. So I think the timing had a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, it was, you know, it was ahead of the other people, and definitely it was a unique sound at the time. I remember, you know, feeling very sort of proud of the fact that I had those tunes to play during my sets, and you know,
Great.
that was really good.
Great.
And still play them now. I mean, you know, I don't think a week goes by where I don't play one or the other of those two. You know,
wow.
Extremely popular tunes. I did a live gig Saturday night, and All in All was asked for, requested, you know, at the DJ booth, and you know, that sort of thing is absolutely fantastic.
Great, that's great.
So I wanted to ask you about the Tonight EP from last year.
Okay.
That's your latest release, isn't it, Joyce?
Yes, it is, Tonight.
Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit about the EP and a little bit about the inspiration behind it and so on?
Tonight, at that time, I was with different management, and we wanted. Well, I was already working on the new album, and she had the idea that, you know, come over to the UK, which is what I did in May of last year. I went over to the UK to work with some different writers and producers, and so I came over and went in the studio in the UK, and I started working on some tracks. I worked on 5 actually tracks overseas, and that's how Tonight came about. You know, this coming back out with new music, slight twist on the sound and everything, but it is pretty good so far. Everything is working out really good.
That's wonderful. So does that mean that we have an imminent album release from you, Joyce, to look forward to?
Oh yeah, definitely. The album should drop hopefully if we stay on schedule, early spring, or well, I should say late spring, early summer.
Late spring, early summer.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a little bit about the album without asking you to give away too many trade secrets?
Well, it's love songs. It's classic Joyce Sims tracks. I did a lot of writing. I did all the writing. I shouldn't say all because I did work with other writers. I did a little producing, but I think you're gonna really like it. I didn't go too far away from my sound, but I wanted to incorporate, the new sounds as well. I'm really pleased with it. So I can't give you the title yet.
No.
But I'm really excited about it.
Well, so am I. I didn't know it was coming till now, and now I'm really excited about it. So I shall be looking forward to that for sure.
Great. Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful. So you're currently working on that album then. I would imagine it's fairly busy and all sort of all hands to the pump on that particular album at the moment then.
Yeah. Say again. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was going to ask you what you were currently working on, but I guess most of the work at the moment is probably around the imminent album release. It
is. That's what most of my time now is focused on the album, and my new it's not new, but my record label is August Rose Records, so it'll be coming out on my own imprint. I'm excited about that.
Wonderful.
And yeah, but most of the time is really focused on getting the album together. But being that I am the record label, the artist, I spend a lot of time recording, but there's so much more behind the scene work that has to be done as well. With the cover and then the videos and just the marketing, promotion, and everything. So it's really time consuming, but it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and I mean, all of that work, obviously, as an independent, you have to do yourself. Whereas a record label would be sort of working on that. But the nice thing about being independent is you can be you without having to answer to anybody.
Exactly. And I can experiment with different sounds and different textures and different things like that without being told, well, I don't think this is marketable, I don't think this or that or the other. So that's the good thing about having being an indie. And, you're really free, you're free to try a lot of things, I should say.
Well, that's the creativity of it. And I think, a free hand allows for so much more creativity,
Yes.
The thing with the stipulations of record labels or whatever is it's based on sort of a few people's opinion, but that's not necessarily where the artist is flowing, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I definitely know what you mean. You're right. I mean, the labels have their vision of the artist, where they think the artist should go, and the artists have their vision. Some artists know this is what I want to do, this is how I want to sound, this is how I want to look, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I wrote this song years ago, and I think my manager at the time took it to a label, and they loved the track. So he asked, well, who's the artist? Who's singing? She says, Joyce Sims. He's like, oh, no, we can't market this. I think it was more poppy, really poppy track. He said, oh, no, we can't. It's going to be hard for us to market this. We want another all in all. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm a writer. I'm a songwriter. I'm not going to keep writing all in all. That's a great song. I love it and everything. It is what it is. You can't. That is all in all. So let me keep creating and giving you something different. So after, it was just discouraging. So that really birthed my idea of wanting to do, have my own label, doing my own indie thing.
Yeah, I can imagine. As a writer and as experience changes and times goes by and music scenes change, you want to change with that. Being asked to reinvent the same wheel, it's not going to progress you.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's really good. So are you coming across to the UK at all this year? Can we look forward to seeing you?
We are working on a tour now, perhaps June, but nothing is confirmed until it's signed on the line. So, but I know I will be over this year.
Wonderful. Any ideas of venues at all?
Sorry, say again?
Any idea of what venue that might be at all, or is that still not set?
No, everything is still being negotiated. I'm not sure.
All right.
But I will let you know.
Well, you know, the really nice thing about the UK is it's not that big, so wherever you go, we can get to you, so it's not a problem.
Great. Yes.
We don't have to travel thousands of miles across multiple states to come and find you, which is great.
I know. But look, I think it's pretty big. It's a good size to me, so, you know, I've traveled. I've done a lot of work in the UK, and it seems pretty big to me.
Well, it's a small country with a big heart.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah. Well, compared to the U.S., you know, I guess you could say that, but I love the UK. So.
Well, and the UK love you, Joyce. They, you know, we love your music and have done, you know, since the 80s, and you know, there are a lot of listeners of Sound Fusion Radio that would love to come and see you wherever you come to the UK.
Well, thank you, and I'll definitely let you know. Keep you posted.
That's wonderful. That would be good. I'm just looking back through your discography. You know, you got 5 albums there listed. You know, and a whole host of singles going right the way through. I mean, you haven't ever really stopped producing music, have you? I mean, there's a couple of years of gaps, but I mean, really and truly. It's been very consistent for all the way through, really, hasn't it? Right up till now.
It has been. When you know, you may not see me out touring or, you know, doing dates here or there, but I'm always in the studio recording or, you know, writing. I put out, I think, 4 independent singles on August Rose Records. But I've always been behind the scenes, you know, with the production and the writing. The music is in me, so it's what I love. It's what I do.
Yeah, wonderful. That's lovely. And what about the future for Joyce Sims? What are you looking for, sort of going forward?
Going forward, you know, I really want to put out some good music this year and the following years. Establish August Rose Records. And to, you know, reestablish my brand as touring, you know, as a touring act, and to really get more involved in the industry this year.
Wow, that'd be wonderful. And of course, when you release your album, we'd love to get behind it as a radio station here in London, if you'd allow us to do so.
Oh yes, definitely.
And promote it, because your kind of music is the sort of music we play and our listeners love. So, you know, it'd be ideal.
Yes, definitely. And thank you for your support, and thank you for the offer, of course.
Well, we'd love to do it. That's wonderful. So, well, we're certainly looking forward to you coming over later on in the year, and we'll come and find you wherever you are. Okay. But maybe you'd like to tell our listeners where to find you online, about your social media, and where to go buy your EP tonight. Yes.
You can reach me at www.joycesimsonline.com. It's my official website. I'm on Twitter, you know, Joyce Sims, Twitter. I'm on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Joyce Sims, and Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Joyce Sims. My latest single, Tonight, is available on iTunes, Amazon, all the major digital download stores, and it's out right now, so please support. And I'm all over the web. You can find me, for sure.
That's wonderful. It's a very attractive website you have, actually. It's very, very nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's some websites leave a fair bit to be desired, but yours is very, very attractive and very inviting.
Thank you. His name is Bob. I'll let him know.
Tell Bob we like the site.
Okay. He works hard for me.
Everybody needs a Bob, that's for sure.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, Joyce Sims. It's been absolutely lovely talking to you. And when you release your album, please come and talk to us again. We'd love to speak to you a little more.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. But wait, let me just say this on the single tonight. I want to just shout out the remixers that the Package and Digital Sound Bunkers who did the club mix from the UK. They're from the UK, and the Package is from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And I also work with Jay Picasso from England as well, who produced with me on that track.
Wonderful. And if there's anything else you'd like to tell the listeners here in the UK and across the world, and we do have listeners in the Netherlands as well, and the USA, and in fact 47 countries in the world, and if there's anything you'd like to tell them all about you and your music, then please feel free to do so.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for your support and your love of my music throughout the years, and I'm really humbled by all the love that you've shown me throughout the years. And listen out for the new music. It's coming soon. I know you love the old stuff, but please support the new as well.
We can't wait for the new. We do love the old, and please keep doing what you do because we absolutely love it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll speak again soon. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, and you have a wonderful day as well.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.